I have realized in my own community, Governmental East movement, is that there's a lot of young people with guns.
These young people are not getting these guns.
You believe that we're not a democracy? Because people would like to believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy. But do you 100% believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy?
Come on. Yeah, that's the secret passage, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Alongside myself, you, Tom Chairman. Precious, tell us where we're at, because we're in Chigoanas.
So we are in the land of Chigoanas right now, and we are located at Edinburgh 500 Chigoanas. Now we are going to show you during the time of 2020 August, you know, the heat of elections, we were noticing a lot of these buildings. Look at this dilapidated state. Someone right now wish they could have got a home to live in.
The Progressive Empowerment Party says that the dump there at Port of Spain that enters into your capital city, we will remove that Port of Spain dump. What I have realized in my own community, Governmental East movement, is that there's a lot of young people with guns.
These young people are not getting these guns.
You believe that we're not a democracy? Because people would like to believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy. But do you 100% believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy?
Come on. Yeah, that's the secret passage, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Alongside myself, you, Tom Chairman. Precious, tell us where we're at, because we're in Chigoanas.
So we are in the land of Chigoanas right now, and we are located at Edinburgh 500 Chigoanas. Now we are going to show you during the time of 2020 August, you know, the heat of elections, we were noticing a lot of these buildings. Look at this dilapidated state. Someone right now wish they could have got a home to live in.
The Progressive Empowerment Party says that the dump there at Port of Spain that enters into your capital city, we will remove that Port of Spain dump.
By the woman's chairman, Precious Crookshank. Precious, good night.
Good night, Mr. David Welch.
How are you?
I am okay, a bit thirsty. But
You want my water?
Right.
You will not get my water.
But I am doing well. How are you? How are you?
I'm well.
Good evening, good night, people of Trinidad and Tobago and all our viewers, our audience tonight. David, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I am well, Precious. We kicked off the start of the new year only yesterday here attached to the Progressive Empowerment Party. For all of you joining us on social media, good night. For all of you across YouTube, don't forget that we're streaming live on YouTube at Trinidad Broadcasting Network on YouTube, as well as the Philip Edward Alexander Facebook page on YouTube as well. Remember to share the live broadcast as soon as you enter, as much as possible tonight. Share it, share it, share it. It's what everyone continues to say. So tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, well, actually, I said that we started off the year only yesterday here in the Progressive Empowerment Party with the political broadcast that happened yesterday. It was on radio, it was on social media, across all social media platforms. And tonight we're going to be going through some highlights of that. But you wanted to wish some greetings, actually.
Of course, David. We would like to extend Ramadan greetings to our brothers and sisters within the Muslim community. It started, I believe it's 3 days ago. So we want to wish them a happy Ramadan season. Yes?
Nice. So happy Ramadan to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters here in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as around the world that may be celebrating Ramadan today or this week.
Yeah.
All right? But anyway, the Progressive Empowerment Party kicked off its first ever public meeting after opening our head office or redesignating our head office earlier this year. So the Progressive Empowerment Party held its first ever public meeting for 2023 on March 25th. The meeting was held in Chigoanas as the people revealed 5 new shadow MPs for this year only. So attached to the already existing 10 shadow MPs that we have, and you know I'm one Phil Laventele's movement, we have Dion Richards, we have Akil Camps, we have so many great shadow MPs. The chairman herself, Alicia Holder, also being a shadow MP. We revealed 5 new shadow MPs for the year of 2023. This was yesterday at the Progressive Empowerment Party's public meeting in Chaguanas, Ramadan Street, Chaguanas. Ramsaran Street, Chaguanas. You see, happy Ramadan. It's in my brain. So, give me the 5 new shadow MPs, Director.
Sterling Liha.
Tego Martin Central.
Redison Jeffrey.
Labre. Oh, we have a lot of Labre people. Nice. Good job.
Dr. Disrael Rock.
Yeah, man,
San Fernando West.
Peter Samuel.
San Fernando East. Only we need more love for all the other areas too, you know. Yes, thank you. Good.
And last but not least, the shadow MP for
Chaguanas West.
Ibrahim Kadir.
Yay!
Tell them we go fix it. We go fix it. We go fix it. Come out in your numbers. We go fix it. We go fix it. We go fix it. PEP go fix it. No jobs, no safety, no water.
So guys, this is our new lineup of shadow MPs. We have more to come. As we move around the country, we'll be launching more shadow MPs. And we're happy. Please, again, give them a round of applause. Wish them all luck and all God's blessings. They have a lot of work to do. So proud of my team as they're growing. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
We want to see standing strong to any weather. Follow the light of the PEP, cause we could build a better place for every queen.
There you have it, Trinidad and Tobago. 5 new shadow MPs launched there in Chaguanas. I'm surprised by Sterling, though. I'm really surprised by Sterling. Y'all, I know I'm a part of the Progressive Empowerment Party, but we knew nothing.
Sometimes we get surprises, and that's all fun, and you know, we like that, yeah.
So I'm really surprised by Sterling. In fact, I mean, he was a shadow MP before, as far as I understand, right? Am I correct?
I'm not certain.
You're not certain, but I'm surprised by Sterling. Sterling, congratulations on becoming a shadow MP, willing to take the Progressive Empowerment Party into victory 2025.
Yes.
All right? But outside of that, actually, Precious Crookshank was also there. Precious spoke as the Women's Arm Chairman to the Progressive Empowerment Party.
And our entire Women's Arm team was there. We were in charge of the food, supplying the lovely audience with something to eat.
Yeah.
So let's take it in.
Nice. So Precious Crookshank spoke. So speaking at the event was also the Women's Arm Chairman, Precious Crookshank, and she spoke directly to both mothers as well as persons that were there in attendance. Now this was followed obviously by myself, David Welch, joining Precious Crookshank, sharing the stage for the first time ever, actually sharing a public stage like that.
Yes.
All right. So we had a lengthy, well, she had a lengthy talk, and then I came in to sum it all down to the end. But take a look, Trinidad and Tobago. This is myself and Precious yesterday, and I also spoke directly to young people yesterday at the public meeting. Go ahead.
One people under one flag. It's time for change. It's time we vote in PEP. Come on, let me fix it. We go fix it. Build a better TNT. Build a we go fix it. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
All protocols observed. Good night, my PEP family. Good night, my PEP family. Good night, my PEP family. We are here Shogunas, Central people, good night. My name is Precious Crookshank, and I am your Women's Arm Chairman for the Progressive Empowerment Party. So my PP family, good night. We are here, and we are people under one flag for one reason, and we want change. Change is inevitable, but yet it is going to happen. We should not be fearful of change, because positive change improves our life, and we want improvement in this country. Yes? Wait. Y'all ain't singing, sure. Do we want improvement in our sweet Trinbago? That's right. And under the Progressive Empowerment Party, we will get improvement. We will see a change. We will have better security for our family, where we can still, long time ago, we could have still leave our gates open without anybody just walking in, because we felt safe. There was a level of security that we had, and we were insured by the government that we had before. That sense of security is coming back under the Progressive Empowerment Party. Yes? We are going to get proper health care. We are going to get a better education system for our children, who are the future of our country. Yes? And we need you. We need you to support. We need you to come forward. We need you to come forward and start volunteering. And you can volunteer within the Women's Arm. You can take my number. It's 298-4852. Or you can go to our website and sign up, become a member, join the Women's Arm, get active in your community. It starts with you. It starts with you. And if you don't start, who are you waiting on? You can't wait for anyone else. You know the correct saying where they say, it only happens when it comes to your doorstep. That is when you feel it. Don't wait for it to come by you. Feel it now. When you see it on your television, feel it now. When you see other women like yourself and other male figures like yourself having to deal with robbery, getting killed innocently, feel it now. And start acting. Start becoming the change that you want to see. Have a pleasant good night, and everyone return safe.
Yeah. Ooh.
Here's a phenomenon.
Baby, if you cut me, you go see blood. And if you squeeze me, you go feel the love.
We are one people under the sun, one nation. Come on. Stand up. Who feel the black? Who feel the white? Come on, clap, people, clap. Thank you so much. Bring it down, DJ. So you just heard from the Women's Arm Chairman, Precious Cruickshank, and I think some of you already know that we are the most dynamic duo in all of politics in Trinidad and Tobago.
That's right.
The entirety of it. The Women's Arm, led by Precious Cruickshank, and in fact, I'll say the Honorable Precious Cruickshank. Also, the Youth Arm, ran by myself as
Mr. David King Welch.
Hey, we all day.
So, y'all know in the Progressive Empowerment Party, we tend to do things on the spot. We tend to do things that no other political party will do or can do. The political party, this political party, is ran by Philip Edward Alexander. And he is, quite frankly, the next Prime Minister to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. No. The next Prime Minister to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Because let me tell you this. The president, and thank God we have a new president because we had a pencil pusher. But the president, the former president, ain't do nothing. We now have a president, Crookshank, the Honorable, that took up office. And for her speech that she gave, she spoke about youth development. I tell you this, I trust no man with youth future, with the future of the youth. But the one person I trust, or the one party I trust, is the Progressive Empowerment Party. And that is because they give people like Precious a chance. They gave people like me, myself, a chance. You all saw the 10 shadow MPs. You all saw the new shadow MPs launch. These are people that care about the country. They are not the Fitzgerald Hangs. They are not the Keith Rowley. They are not pencil pushers. They came here to work. Precious and I, we are here to work. And together we are one people under one flag, and we will fix Trinidad and Tobago. Not only that, we have the men and women in the police service here today. They go through lots of problems that we know of if you all listen to the political leaders speak. They go through it all, but they are here protecting us. And I know Philip will do this, but let's give them a round of applause, please. Now, I said I trust no one with my future other than the Progressive Empowerment Party. And Philip wanted me to be serious tonight. And I tell you this year, for persons that are asking what the youth arm of the PEP is doing, this year, the Progressive Empowerment Party's youth arm intends to reach out to youths across Trinidad and Tobago, because we are ready to launch, hear me closely, we are ready to launch constituency hubs of the youth arm in each constituency. First, we're going to target Lopino Bonaire West, and then we are going throughout Trinidad and Tobago. But one thing that we are going to do, we're going to start community cleanup campaigns. We're going to go to Manzanilla Beach, as Lakshman just told you, and we're going to bring out young people to go and do that. But we are all, I'm training young people to be a part of the PEP media team. The cameraman is young, the director is young, so let's just give them a round of applause. These are people that took time to be here to volunteer their service. You don't get that again in Trinidad. You don't get people volunteering, especially young people volunteering. And the youth arm of the Progressive Empowerment Party tends to reach out to a lot of youths. Right now we have 150 young people attached to the youth arm right now. And if you would like to be a part of the youth arm, what I will encourage you to do is go to www.peptt.com and sign up. Sign up your child as early as 13 years old. Sign up your child to the youth arm of the Progressive Empowerment Party and get them on board in this.
And David, we have young ladies serving. Young ladies
also,
doing service. We have them at
tell them.
We have young women serving, you guys, if you have seen, and they were giving out the soup and the water. Young people serving. They are serving you, and they're starting from now. So when they are ready to get into politics, they already have the fundamental understanding for serving people. Yes?
Now, I'm wrapping up. I'm here with Precious Cruickshank, because you all know that Precious and I, again, is the most dynamic duo in all of politics. What the others trying to do now with saying this one is youth arm chairman, that one is women's arm chairman, none of them can touch the Progressive Empowerment Party. And I want to thank you, all of you here today, because y'all are the real peppers in Trinidad and Tobago. And come election time, we're going to kick them out of office. We're going to stay in the place orange. We're going to vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party. My young people, stand up, rise up. It is time to vote for change. Good night.
We go fix it. Build a better TNT. We go fix it. Because we vote in PEP.
Philip will fix it.
Vote PEP.
Tobago, that was a speech, man. That was a speech. I guess. Precious is sitting over here. Precious.
It was definitely a speech for young people to rise up and take your place within Trinidad and Tobago, and also our women within Trinidad and Tobago to rise up and stand for what is right and stand for your constitutional right as a citizen. Yeah?
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, as we come back, because we're going for a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to start really ask the question, what's next in Trinidad and Tobago?
Right.
Stay tuned. We'll be back after this.
Darren's Air Conditioning Services. Professional services at affordable prices. They have air conditioning units starting at $2,700 with free delivery, installation, and Wi-Fi ready. We supply Pioneer, Lennox, Comfy, and Infinity, all at unbeatable prices. Servicing of a 12,000 BTU at only $150. Don't forget to check them out on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So contact Darren's Air Conditioning Services at 749-8245. Darren's Air Conditioning Services. Professional services at affordable prices.
Loving, safe, caring senior care living facility where your family becomes our family. Our experienced caregivers are trained and overseen by our registered nurse who has years of experience in psychiatric nursing and working with geriatrics. We provide a safe living environment for your loved ones. Come and visit us. We are located at 4 Roads in Diego Martin, Arichel Homes. We are family. View us on Facebook, Arichel Homes. Contact us at 684-2873 or 468-3186.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. And remember, if you'd like to advertise here on What's Next, it's very simple. Contact Precious Crookshank today at 298-4852 or myself 282-4798. Or you can send an email to media@peptt.com if you'd like to advertise right here on What's Next. As we jump right back into what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, we sworn in our 6th president within our republic, and her name is President Christine Kangaloo, ORTT. Now, she replaced former President Paula Weeks. Now, when President Kangaloo gave her opening speech, or her inauguration speech, she spoke about advocating for change, especially among young people. Now, I saw youth, well, the news they actually posted that youth advocates across the country, or those that were there in attendance, were very pleased with what the president said. I, on the other hand, have something else to say about that. It's not that I entirely disagree with what the president said, her inauguration speech, about advocating for youths and speaking about or having sight on some antisocial behavior that youths are engaging in. But let's just take a look at the president's 5-minute speech. Take a look.
During my term, I would like to continue the work begun by my predecessors in trying to demystify the role. I think that a good place to start is at the level of our primary school children, many of whom are here today. One of our nation's founders spoke of the future of our nation being in our children's school bags. I believe that heightening awareness at the primary school level about the role of the president will help promote a better understanding of the presidency. I am aware of at least one primary school in South Trinidad, the San Fernando Girls Government Primary School Standard 4 Sing, that has embarked on a project to heighten awareness about the role of the president. So long as that school's principal permits, I should be very happy to meet with the students in Standard 4 Sing to discuss with them how they and their teachers might be able to help to lead and spread projects like theirs across the country. This is one of the things that I hope the presidential future that we are starting to write today will look like. A future in which there is a population that is better informed about the presidency and that is therefore better able to hold it to account. Another means through which I believe the youth and those who interact directly with them can come to the country's aid, particularly in this season of rising crime, is through the model provided by the Steel Band movement in its preparations for Panorama. For decades, there have been those who have been telling us that the discipline and the structure that the Panyard brings into the lives of young people each year in the lead up to Carnival combine to create one of the most effective youth delinquency prevention programs available in the country. As president, I will be anxious to meet with and listen to those voices, as I will be to use the voice of my own office to advocate for the adoption in our communities of youth programs based on the Panyard model, not just limited to specific periods in the year, but on a year-round basis. This is another aspect of the presidential future I envision, a future in which the Office of the President continues to collaborate with communities to explore and advocate for means by which our young people can be steered towards endeavors that are glorious and life-giving and away from the allure of antisocial behaviors.
Antisocial behaviors is what the president said, to steer youths away from antisocial behavior. Now the news said that youths that were there in attendance were amazed by the president's speech. Well, you saw one with the camera pan at the right time when a young person was yawning there at the president's speech. Now a lot were clapping also. But here's the thing, they're just clapping because of clapping's sake. Listen, nothing that the president, the new president, Kangaloo, is promising for young people wasn't promised already. Promised to diversify in terms of making her office more modern. How many offices trying to be modernized in Trinidad? Ministry of Youth Development, how's that office going? Ministry of Family Services, how's that office going?
And also, David, Ministry of National Youth and Development. How is that ministry going?
Well, the president, or Titi, said that she plans to model the president office as an office that each and every single public office should follow. Trinidad and Tobago, I try not to just be all about bacchanal, as persons would say, but nothing the president promising there, promising a life of no crime, promises a life where the cost of living does not rise astronomically, promises where young people can actually get jobs. You see, President, you're out of touch once again. This is the president that sat in the Senate and passed laws and legislations that were not beneficial for Trinidad and Tobago at all. The anti-gang legislation that was passed in 2019, this same Senate speaker, same Senate president, or same president today, that they talk now because they're given a different office, but it's the same people that govern it. It's a PNM president we have today, Trinidad and Tobago. That is all. Now, the president she said at the start of this speech that she wants young people to know more about what the president is about, what the president does, and the powers of the president. I agree, teach children that in school. But here's my thing. She said that she's going to continue the work from her predecessors and do this and do that and do the other.
Well, her last predecessor continue what work? Say nothing.
No, but that's the thing. You said that you want to continue the work of your predecessors, yet you are now introducing what the president does in schools. What was Paula Weeks doing? What was Paula Weeks doing that you had to congratulate Paula Weeks for? Paula Weeks did absolutely nothing. She was the laziest female president this country has ever seen. the laziest, a waste of time. That is what she was. And quite frankly, that is what your entire speech was at your inauguration. That is what it was. Waste of time, a waste of space, a waste of breath. The opposition didn't even show up. That is how, to the most important office holder, the most prestige office holder in the land, you, President Kangaloo, the opposition didn't even show up for it. You are a PNM put president. You were not put there by the people. And even in her opening speech, she said that, you know, she saw
But
comments.
might I add, David, even though the opposition didn't show up, their reason was why.
She's a PNM.
But honestly, what option they had? What better option they had?
To show up, and that's where it got a little different.
You know?
Because I say the opposition should have been there.
They should have
At the end
been
of the day,
there.
you're still your president.
Exactly.
But
their option was who? Really and truly, was their option?
It was not better.
It wasn't better. I mean, if you had a better option, I could have said, but okay, they're biased, you know, but between the two, which one was actually better? None. But out of the 0%, which one actually had, out of the -1, which one actually had 0? And they chose it.
She sounded like the lesser of the two evils there. Anyway, the president spoke about antisocial behavior. Again, Parliament Weeks, if you understand why crime and criminality is out of control, if you understand why so many Kangaroos, why you understand why so many youths are involved in crime and criminality, you would look at the government. You see, you speak about antisocial behavior, and you speak about this and you speak about that, but Crookshank Kangaroo, President, or RTT, let me ask you this. You say that you're advocating for youths and you're advocating for change, but you spoke nothing about what public servants do. You speak nothing about the attitude or the conduct of how parliamentarians operate within our parliament chambers. You said nothing about the Prime Minister when he called the opposition leader a pack or a piece of worthlessness, a pack of nothingness. Your Prime Minister, the man that you will be taking advice from, said that about a female Prime Minister or opposition, and you said absolutely nothing. Nothing at all, Ms. Christine Kangaloo. So when you ask yourself, Christine Kangaloo, why it is young people are engaging in a bunch of school fights happening all around this nation, when you ask yourself why this country is so out of order and it's chaotic and it is just madness happening left, right, and center in Trinidad and Tobago, tell yourself it is because of the people that you are taking advice from. You are taking advice from the Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley. You are taking advice from. Now, the role of the president is much more than just being a pencil pusher and much more than just being an advocate. If you're advocating for young people, advocate what we want. We want jobs. We want a better opportunity. We want equal opportunity in Trinidad and Tobago. We want a chance to live. That is all we want. That is all, Christine Kangaloo. You want to deal with crime and criminality? Start by talking about that. Start by advocating for that. There's a bunch of people that can't get a home in Trinidad and Tobago. Our first policy here in the Progressive Empowerment Party is home ownership. The People's National Movement policy is to give their own home and to engage in big rigging. That's all. So if you get home, you vote for we. Voter fraud. That's why you just call it in the United States of America. But here in Trinidad and Tobago, they're allowed to create 2 additional seats for local election, and then their people inside there, the EBC, say it is good for the country.
Yeah.
Look at how many local elections does nothing for this country. All your roads in a mess, Trinidad and Tobago. Local election does absolutely nothing. And the Progressive Empowerment Party says we will abolish it.
You know what is the craziest thing, David? Where I passed through Edinburgh 500, the road that is connected to Londonville and Edinburgh. That's the Bailey Bridge, right? And there was a situation where when rain falls, they used to flood out completely, like it was not passable for vehicles. And one day I said, let me call the corporation and figure out if something can be done with this situation. So I called the corporation, and you know what they told me? That does not fall under the corporation's purview, and that goes under the Ministry of Works. So for me, I want to know, well, of course, trying to call Ministry of Works is like a no answer there. But is there a department or somebody that comes from the corporation and reports the situation and then sends the information to the Ministry of Works, and then they look into it? Okay, if it's the Ministry of Works, what is the procedure? Because you can't just tell somebody that they call stating this is a problem within a constituency and it's causing, it would be a huge problem for drivers who are driving. Come on, you have to tell me something else. Just don't tell me it's under the Ministry of Works and the Ministry of Works have to deal with that problem. It's the corporation, and I'm certainly sure the corporation could convey the information to the Ministry of Works about a certain problem. So that is the thing. Our ministries and corporations are not efficient, and we are tired of the inefficient behavior of these ministries. Inefficient, and these, how to say, these councillors, they're not doing anything. Hardly. I'm certainly sure most people, if you ask them, who is your councillor, they don't know.
You know, as you talk this, it makes me realize that majority of Trinidad and Tobago problems are trivial problems, easy problems to solve.
Very easy. Very, very easy. But yet they make it very difficult. They talk like if it's so difficult to get this in place, to write up this, to do this. No, it's not difficult. It's absolutely not difficult.
Now here are the start of your problems, right? The system or style of governance that we have here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have more so a federal system that we abide by. And I'll talk about the fix for it, because the Progressive Empowerment Party plans to abolish the local government structure by getting rid of local government altogether and substituting it for 5 different heads, again, within each constituency, Trinidad and Tobago. Now we're talking about health, we're talking about security, we're talking about works, we're talking about education. That's what right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're talking about health, security, works, education, and the last one we'll be talking about utilities, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be health, security, works, education, utilities. So if you have a problem with your health care, you go to the constituency head of that area. If you have a problem with security, you go to the constituency head of that area. If you have a problem with works in terms of your roads, infrastructure, you go to the division in charge, or the person in charge of works. If you have a problem with education, you go to that division in charge of education. And utilities, you go to the person in charge of that division. Now, all of those people will be responsible for reporting directly back to your member of parliament, which would either be myself if I win Governmental East Movement. Let's say, Precious, you run for Port of Spain, and they have to report to you in Port of Spain. In turn, what your member of parliament will be responsible for is directly representing you inside of the parliament of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and not by just standing up and saying, Minister, there's no water in Mova, or how you dealing with that problem. You see, we will know the root of the problem. Obviously, if there's no water in an area, we know, well, a dam not working, and to repair the dam, let's say it's $50,000 to repair the dam, let's say so, we will stand up inside the parliament and ask the Minister of Finance, when are we going to get that $50,000?
All the information is collected, and then the last person it reaches to is probably the member of parliament that carries it into parliament. Sure. Like, you don't have to question. They found the problem, and they're bringing the solution as well. They're bringing the cost of it as well, and they submit it to the member of parliament, which he presents it in parliament. Right? Make every procedure as straightforward as such. don't make anything where we didn't get this information. We still have to find out everything at once. The information is not hard to get, because once you're in a position to receive information, you can't get it. Collect all the data, put it together, and present it nicely, and you're good to go. And now all you have to wait for is for it to be approved. If any other information needs to be collected, you send it back out to the supervisors within the constituency. They would collect the information and they would submit it again for the member of parliament.
Now, how this works currently, and I'm going to go through the TDS system for you. The way I just explained to you, the new way of local election, if you want to put it like that, working. The Progressive Empowerment Party once again plans to abolish local election and substitute that for five divisional heads within your constituency, okay? And I said that it would be health, security, utilities, works, and education. Now, again, if you have a problem with if you have an issue with anything within your area, let's say roads is a major problem, you go to the divisional head of works and you report the issue there. And then that issue goes on to the member of parliament if it cannot be resolved right there. And then, the way that it works now, Trinidad and Tobago, is that you have local election. When local election comes around, you appoint councillors for your area, you vote X, Y, and Z like that with a PNM, UNC, once again. Same nonsense. When you vote for them, how it goes, you are given a budget by the Minister of Finance. They give budget to local election through, corporations. Corporations get a budget. When corporations get a budget, then they either fix roads, they pay staff, they do whatever they have to do. Councillors pave roads, because that your councillor is responsible for roads within your area, local roads such as that. If it's like places like Shutgonas and under the Municipal Police Act, it is much different and stuff like that. But that system that we have currently is much, much, much more tedious than what we just want to do and make it simpler for the people. Now, in any given instance where this local election system does not work, you don't have the opportunity to vote them out. The Progressive Empowerment Party says that one of the things that we want to do, Trinidad and Tobago, is pass a recall legislation within our first term in office, first 100 days in office, recall legislation. That recall legislation would allow you, if we are given office and we do not implement the 5 statutory heads within constituencies, you would be able to call on that particular MP to go through fresh elections again, which will then, Trinidad and Tobago, cause you to change that member of parliament in any given instance of non-performance within, his tenure in office. We plan to do all of these things and more is in the 21 policies of the Progressive Empowerment Party. All of these things can work. It just simply means that you have to vote for it.
Yes.
How do we plan to deal with home ownership in Trinidad and Tobago? We plan to once again abolish HDC. The state should not be responsible for giving out homes on a NLCB kind of term contract. You know
exactly, where they could remove you.
Right now, home ownership in Trinidad and Tobago is like winning the $23 million in NLCB. That is what home ownership is like.
It for real or it not?
It's a raffle. It's almost like a raffle. You're drawing a ticket because you don't get through with HDC.
You don't.
The Progressive Empowerment Party says enough is enough of that. We will give you startup homes, funding to start up your own home through the bank. Go and apply for a loan, a home ownership loan that will be given from us to the bank, to you, so therefore you can own a home in Trinidad and Tobago. You can build your very own home, and we will make it affordable.
Yes.
Within the first 100 days, Trinidad and Tobago, construction in Trinidad and Tobago will be through the roof, because the construction sector is not going to be just open up for an isolated few. It's going to be open up for a lot of people, small, medium-sized businesses. We run cement companies out of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
We engage in monopolization. The Progressive Empowerment Party says no. The Progressive Empowerment Party says that contracts will be awarded, and this is state contracts, will be awarded in constituencies. If we're doing a project within Laventille East Movement, people is who we're going to look for. That is what we want to do. That's not only going to ease corruption, but it's also going to create employment for young people as well. Especially if we abolish an HDC, it makes it much more easier for young people to get homes, to go to the bank and apply for a loan with all of your documentations and get a loan, because we are not going to turn you down because you work in KFC. All right? The point that you're working KFC
and
is one of
these
the
young
things
people
we
that
want.
work KFC, they work very, very hard, right? And they work hard so that they'll be able to enjoy the benefits of when they receive their money. If they could be able to qualify for a home, they would be happy. A lot of them are working extremely hard to enjoy the benefits of life.
Now, on that same point, but on the home ownership again, you just spoke about it. One of the questions that young people will have on their minds is interest that they'll be paying back. The Progressive Empowerment Party makes it easy once again. And if you read our manifesto, it's very easy once again. If you continue reading the Progressive Empowerment Party's manifesto, one of the things that you will see is regulating the financial sector or the banking sector. We plan to regulate that. We plan to tell the banks that what you're engaging in now, all that you're doing now with interest rates going through the roof, let's say interest rates over 50% of it. Let's say it's that. The banking sector is not supposed to be operating like that. The banking sector is not supposed to take your money, lend out your money, and you have to pay for them lending out your money.
Exactly.
You have to pay the bank to store your money in the bank. That is madness. The banks are not supposed to be operating like that. The high interest fees and everything like that. The Progressive Empowerment Party plans to regulate the banking sector of Trinidad and Tobago, something that the Prime Minister, Keith Christopher Rowley, said he will not do. There's a recent article where the Prime Minister said that he has no interest in regulating the banking sector.
Thank you. So, whose interest he's seeking? Whose interest? The people or the banking sector? Exactly. And it's the people's interest that you have to seek out. And that is not benefiting the people of Trinidad and Tobago, David, with high interest rates that persons can't even get a loan or can't even get a mortgage. And worse yet, for the mortgage finance department or whatever that they have, that makes no sense. Then what you trying to tell the people? You're fooling the people then.
Now that is something. They are fooling the people and continue to do that. But that is the Progressive Empowerment Party plan to regulate the financial sector, to allow persons to go to the bank and borrow with ease, precious Crookshank, and not have to pay back tens and thousands of dollars in interest rates. But not only that, but one of the main things plaguing Trinidad and Tobago is crime and criminality. How do we deal with that? Now, I spoke to you about home ownership. One of the main things that we must talk about is food production. Food is very essential and very vital for any society. The Progressive Empowerment Party says that food will be a matter of national security. We will have our own farmlands right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Philip Alexander, political leader, continues to show you length and breadth of lands in Trinidad and Tobago. He blazes to the farmers and shagonas and market vendors. He sent a pre-action protocol letter because of the state of the market. The Progressive Empowerment Party is the only party that have been campaigning and moving forward with agricultural land. We started our own pep farm there in Bamboo, planting lettuce. We are showing the country that it can be possible. We can grow our own food here, significantly cutting back on the food import bill, which is in US dollars, going over what, 6 billion? Yeah. 6 billion US dollars, or TT dollars actually, sorry. All right? The Progressive Empowerment Party says that we will grow our own food right here. We have local produce that we are not even putting any emphasis on, such as cocoa, chocolate. We have the best chocolate in the world. We have the hottest pepper in the world, and the hottest peppers right here in the PEP in orange. We have the hottest peppers in the world. Not only that, hot like pepper. Not only that, but we have these fruits that he speaks about from the tree and stuff like that we don't even ship out. We have bananas that we can grow that we don't ship. And other countries are doing it. We can become exporters of the Caribbean.
Right, we can.
Now we are exporters of the Caribbean, but in terms of cocaine, that's what we like to ship out, marijuana and stuff like that, and we like to ship in.
And we are a hub. We are a hub too, you know. Let's not forget that.
We're a hub
it's
as
being
well.
reported that we are a hub for human trafficking and all these different things. But why not let's be a hub for positive things? Let people have a positive outlook of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's have a positive outlook for us exporting our goods.
That's what we need to do. So that is what the Progressive Empowerment Party says that it will do. That is what we will do. We will significantly cut back on the food import bill by investing in farmlands, acres and acres of farmlands across Trinidad and Tobago. Farmers would be getting farmers license or their farmers badge in like clockwork, because we plan to regulate that as well. One of the things that we also plan to do, Trinidad and Tobago, is invest in local. How many times have you heard them say they're investing in local but yet not invest in local? When you look at the agro-processing plant down there in Moruga Tableland, it's barely even commissioned. In fact, I don't think it's commissioned at all. When you look at Nutrimix, what is Nutrimix doing?
Exactly.
And I believe Nutrimix is privately owned. And Rowley was there, you know, championing the opening of Nutrimix. But what's the update on Nutrimix? But we're going to invest in Guyana and Guyana agro-processing plants, but our agro-processing industry is dead in Trinidad and Tobago.
But also, David, if you could remember, when we went down to Moruga and we took a little site visit of the Moruga fishing port, how dilapidated it was. And then our shadow MP, Dion Richards, showed us the fishing port that was being built, but then they just left it after the elections. Nothing is being done, absolutely nothing. So you're telling me you're investing local, but you have these projects that were supposed to be completed, it's not completed. That is promoting local as well. True. That area, that Moruga area, could have been a tourist attraction, right? You have this statue that is, continuously going into the sea, right?
And Philip highlighted
exactly, and it's not fixed.
Almost,
right?
They came.
Right. Then you have the people. It has a gas station there that they're fighting to get gas on a weekly basis. Tell me what is really happening. That fishing port's supposed to be updated in terms of they having renovations and making it a highlight in our country. You know how much people would enjoy going down to Moruga. Moruga is a beautiful place. If they get that in order, just to taste the fish and all. You ever tasted fish, David, as soon as they come off the boat? Mm-hmm. Like I went to the Claxton Bay fishing port, man. And they took that fish and roasted right in front of me, and I ate it, and oh my gosh, the pepper sauce was amazing. And that is it. You supporting local fishermen when you take part in those things and fight for their rights and fight for better development within these ports. But no, absolutely not.
Now, that is also a form of tourism as well, but investing in local also means not forgetting our doubles vendors as well. Doubles is so unique to Trinidad and Tobago. Roti is so almost unique to Trinidad and Tobago.
Roti is unique.
Roti or roti?
Roti. Roti? Lord. But roti, doubles, polori, the full works.
Trinidad is the only island in the Caribbean or in the world actually that cooks with the amount of seasoning that we cook with as well. So indigenous and unique to Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Except the fish you now talk about apparently. But so Trinidad and Tobago. But these are things that PEP plans to do.
Yes.
And I'm saying all of this right after our public meeting because it is needed. We have issues to deal with. One of the issues again is crime and criminality.
That's right. Our country is literally riddled with crime, you know, David. Riddled with crime.
Correct.
And of course, I am waiting to see our newly appointed COP stated that they're going to get crime under control in June.
June
yes. So we are waiting. Waiting now. We are waiting to see that. But you know what?
She apologized almost.
Almost.
She said that Trinidad and Tobago have a problem, a spiritual problem. Listen, the only voodoo walking in Trinidad and Tobago is the Keith voodoo, the Keith Rowley voodoo. That is the only voodoo walking in Trinidad and Tobago. This man walk, he obia, and this is not my words, that is he words, he walk obia on a former prime minister. And you know what happened
My.
Anyway,
in the Progressive Empowerment Party, we are one people under one flag that work together as a team to see a better future for our children and for ourselves. So we don't work no voodoo on nobody.
No, and Kid Rowley, you're not under that flag, yeah? Just so that you don't know. Anyway, so national security, the police service falls almost under that. We have to separate the two because of the independent arms of the state. But making the police service independent is really important. But not just that, but developing the police service. And Gary Griffith actually had the correct plan by developing the police service and introducing technology in the police service. Gary Griffith failed at not bringing foreign intervention into the police service in a much meaningful way, Trinidad and Tobago. So the Progressive Empowerment Party plans to seek international help, not only to secure our borders, but also to deal with the police service here in Trinidad and Tobago, to develop it, to train it, and to train the men and women mainly inside of the police service, and to enroll technology in the police service. Today, the Commissioner of Police is saying that it might be the DPP, one of them, actually saying that there's a lot of reports now on police officers. You, the members of the public is complaining a lot about police officers, either, and the United States said, extrajudicial killings or harassment by the police service. The way that we plan to deal with that, Trinidad and Tobago, is by the body cameras. The police commissioner said that body cameras are available, over 1,000 of them on frontline officers. What should mean by frontline? Maybe those that are in the back line, because we don't see it at all. The Progressive Empowerment Party plans to engage in a first world law enforcement policy that you can read on the PEP 21 policies. Go to www.peptt.com and read those policies, Trinidad and Tobago. But tonight, we don't have much time again. In fact, Precious, give us a closing statement.
All right, guys. So I want to let you know we have to be patient. Everything takes time, and let it run its course. We have to be persistent in everything that we do. We have to persevere. Although we may see how our country is going, don't worry, persevere, and in 2025, we would reap the rewards. And don't give up. Never give up. We are not giving up because we, just as you, live in our beautiful country of Trinidad and Tobago, and we will get it back how it used to be beautiful, that you and I and others could live in unity, and we can definitely say we take a pride in our beautiful country.
Nice. Keep shooting for the stars in everything that you do, Trinidad and Tobago. Reach for that star. Reach for it, reach for it, reach for it. If you can see it, you can be it. Remember that. And the moment that you feel to give up is the moment that a new star is born, especially in this republic. Good night.
Reach for the stars. First you gotta have a vision. Reach for the highest. If you could see it, you could be it. And I know